What number are you down to on that list? Is it 50?
No, joking. No. Because when you're on the dating apps, people always I always get asked by guys what sort of qualities, whatnot. And sometimes some guys, they come with their long list of stuff as well.
Shout it out and let them know it's the Davina and Sabrina show. These girls got a lot of sass, topics with a lot of class. Davina and Sabrina show. Spill the tea, drink it up. These girls really know what's up. Spill the tea, drink it up. These girls really know what's up. Davina, Sabrina, it's Davina and Sabrina. Davina and Sabrina show.
Welcome to another episode of the Davina and Sabrina show. Whoop, whoop. Hi guys, welcome for another episode, and please don't forget to share, subscribe and follow at Facebook, TikTok, Instagram and YouTube, all at the Davina and Sabrina show.
Woof! We're back, guys, and today's topic is the list. Do you have a list of requirements when it comes to your significant other, or is that keeping you single? So we've got our two amazing guests who are back, by the way. They came last time in one of our previous episodes, and we touched slightly on the list, and you guys have requested for us to actually go into more details. So here we are. We're going to talk about the big old list. But before we do, just reintroduce yourselves. What's your name?
My name's Augustine.
And
My name's Mark.
thank you for coming back, guys.
No
It
problem.
was fun last time.
We did have a good time.
It was enjoyable.
It was enjoyable.
Yes.
So the list, let's just start off. I
Yes.
mean, there's no secret that women and men's list of requirements are, vastly differ in lengths. But can I ask you, Mark, do you have a list of requirement when it comes to your...
No, I don't have a list.
No.
So you lot go...
No.
Do you have a
For
list?
anything.
No, I never said I went for anything. You have a certain criteria that you look for.
But it's not a list of like tick, tick.
Yeah.
It's not a list like that.
You know what you like when you look for a significant other. So you know what qualities you're already looking for.
But what qualities?
She can breathe oxygen.
So that's any... She breathes.
Well, what's your
She can hear.
requirements, man? I even need to hear this.
She can still see.
Yeah?
Yeah. Things like that are important to me.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But no, serious no. You do have a kind of set of criteria. Everyone has that. But I don't have a definitive list that are pre-written down and I'm following. And I do that for every time I have an interaction with a woman.
So you've never written it down?
Never. I know what I like and I know...
Hell no, I'm not writing nothing now. Because everybody's different in my eyes.
Yeah.
Everybody's different, so I can't write this list,
No.
But I know women do. I've seen this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we certainly do. Do you have a list? Or we did?
A list, but I wrote it down for the purposes of this show, but I have it all in my head.
What
Is it a book?
What's on the
No,
list?
it's not. No.
Davina, what is a list, Lee?
Everyone has deal breakers. Yes. And I would say my list is more of personality traits, not anything than the physical side. There are some physical stuff I have to sort of say that I have to adhere by, but most of it is like characteristics in terms of good communication, in touch, like in emotional intelligence, that sort of thing. But I know a lot of women, a lot of them, it's like, money, height and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm so much on that side.
Okay
It's
then.
more about your qualities as a person.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right.
So you got a list.
You still got a list, though.
You said you had it written down.
Yeah.
Do you have it written down?
So I'll tell you my little story.
Yeah.
So I no longer... Go on.
Before you go,
Yeah.
what number are you down to on that list? Is it 50?
No, joking. No. Because when you're on the dating apps, people always I always get asked by guys what sort of qualities, whatnot. And sometimes some guys, they come with their long list of stuff as well. So I know you guys said you don't really have a list, but there are some guys out there who do have a considerable long list. But I think as you get older, your list probably does come longer because there's certain things you want.
So your list was short before, now it's really long.
Yeah, because when you're young, you're sort of like, it's...
But when you was young, you had a list.
I would say I had a list, probably more not anything goes, but as you got older, because obviously maybe you want a family, you want kids, so there's certain qualities you want to look for in a partner. and you're hoping that they meet them so you can have,
Now, would that list be right at the beginning of the relationship? So if you met a man, would you think, I've got a list. Does he tick all these boxes? I'm thinking about family. Because when I first meet a woman, I just like the woman. And then I'll see how
about the vibe.
and then see how it feels.
ultimately it is the vibe. I agree with that. But as you get to know the person, you sort of do subconsciously think, oh, are they family orientated? If someone doesn't want kids, it's not going to go, and I want kids, it's not going to go any further.
Okay.
So
I think for women, I think generally we do write the list or have written a list upon one time
most
to help us keep on track with what it. It's so true. That's probably the easiest way to say. So help us keep.
Okay.
I mean, I'll tell you in a minute. That's the list above the list.
Okay.
So, like, just to help us keep on track, to help us remind us, yes, we're worth it and so forth. Because we can lose ourselves a little bit with, with when you meet somebody, you're like, oh, he's gorgeous. And then you just start like accepting other things that really you feel, especially when you're younger. So yes, one time, I actually no longer have the list written down. I have a list of requirements like you guys. I know now I'm older, like exactly what I'm looking for. But there was a time, can I tell you my story actually? Yeah. There was a time, so before,
I'm just wondering, I've known Mark for God knows how many years, what his list of requirements are.
Yeah. But they're already just things that I know. If I'm out and I see someone, I know what I like. I'll be honest, I just like quite a chilled, relaxed woman who's confident in herself.
Yeah.
And isn't following any trends, and she's got that independence to be able to do her own thing outside of what everyone else is doing. She doesn't need to follow her friends or follow anyone else.
For me, I've never had a list, but when you first chat to someone, you get on the vibe where they're coming from. I think that's easy to figure out.
Yeah.
You know, there's a certain things that looks, the hygiene's a big one.
Yes.
For me, the looks fade, but it's what attracts you. But once you feel that vibe, you tend to know where a woman, you've had a conversation where she's coming from. So in that sense.
What about non-negotiables? Are there things that like you're like, no way, like straight away that you're not going to accept?
Okay, if she smells
like okay.
Yeah. I don't know what else.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Heavy drinker.
Yeah. I think those are obvious things that most people wouldn't go for. So those are the obvious things that you wouldn't usually go for. I think.
Man, little druggy,
smoking, of any sort.
Yeah.
I smoke a cigar.
One thing I wanted to ask.
Cigar occasionally, but smoking of any kind.
I know mine's a bit of Zaza every now and then in Amsterdam. I'm not going to lie now. But I'm in Amsterdam.
What was you going to say, Mark?
I was going to ask is, what's happened when you've gone off track? Because you said it keeps you on track.
So it
Give me an incident when you went off track and you did something and you didn't follow your rules or the list and you had a good time.
Yeah, I've had that. Yeah. It's never gone further than
that. Like in the end. So the reason I wrote this list at this point, it was, I'm not even gonna lie, I got rid of it at some point. Actually, I've got a really good friend of mine. She wrote a list, and she wrote a list where, and then you'll circle it where it's non-negotiables and ones that it's fine. You don't want it, but it's not a deal breaker. So she told me about it because when she wrote this list that she met her now husband and so forth. So, I was like, yes, okay. So she told me all about it. And I thought, you know what? That's true. They always say write things down, put them, manifestation. There is a power, once again, I don't, just about life in general. There's something about writing things down, right? Okay, in life. Yeah, successful people tell you that, right? Write it down. So I thought, oh yeah, let me do it. So, but my list at that point, when I think back, it was definitely a long list. And at that point, a lot was going on in my life where...
Was it unrealistic?
No, it wasn't unrealistic because it's everything that I possess. So there were just some things now that I probably wouldn't write it down. So at that point in my life, I just moved out, got my own little place. I just got a promotion. I just bought my whole car. So, reality, I was just in this. I was in it.
You can see where it's going.
So I wrote it down. I know. I wrote this down. And there's one thing though, because the question is the list keeping you single? Now, obviously, like I'm in a relationship now and really happy and everything happens for a reason. But yeah, that list, I'll be honest, I had just met somebody on a dating app at that point. And one of the requirements, a lot of them were the basic things, were like, emotional intelligence, family oriented, into fitness, who's a leader, who has vision, who's disciplined, who's focused, those kind of like personality. And then also there was some physical. I want them to be I'm a tall woman, I'm 5'10", right? So I want them to be at least like same height as me, but ideally taller. And then I started putting like literally just detailing it. But then I'll circle the things that were non-negotiable. And then one of the things were he has to have a license and he has to have a car. Now, I didn't circle the car, but I did circle he has to have a license. Meaning, if I met somebody at that age, bearing in mind I was 35 at the time. So it was, if he didn't have a license that I'd be worried. Anyway, so I got speaking to this guy. I'm not even gonna lie, we really got on. We were speaking for 2 weeks. We hadn't yet met. And I was telling him about the list. We like proper banter. He was lovely. And I don't know, the conversation about the list came up and he asked me, what was this list? And I read everything and he was gobsmacked. But then he was like, I'm going to be real honest with you because I'm going to be real honest with you. I actually don't not only have a car, I don't have a license. Right there and then. I absolutely did. I said to him, you know what? But can I just say something? That is something that, everything happens for a reason, but it was only about a year or two later that I actually thought that was really silly of me because he was lovely. We got on. He was fun. He was good looking. And then I never questioned it. See, like I wouldn't write that down now because at my age, yes, I do want someone who's got a license, I'll be honest. You don't have to have a car. But my question would be now, which I didn't probe, why have you not got a license? And actually, maybe I could have helped him. Later on, he actually got his license, by the way, just so you know, he got his license. But he actually, when we got back in touch a couple of years later, he had told me, he was like, and we became friends and stuff. And he had told me like, he was really like, mad with me. He's never really forgiven me. We tried to kind of like but he was like, I really actually liked you. And he goes, you didn't want me when I was down. So and so he wasn't trying to like go back there basically. And that is something I don't say it's a regret because I'm in a lovely relationship now. But yes, at that point, that really kept me single for a little while. And I do
keeps a lot of women single.
So deep down, I think we do need to have requirements. That level of detail was a bit like, I was feeling myself a bit.
Yeah,
and I'd be honest, and I would say that I don't regret it, but yeah, a little bit. It's like, But then what I should have done is really ask. Maybe he had an accident. I don't even know. Maybe he had an accident.
Maybe he
when
doesn't want to drive.
And it was maybe he doesn't want to drive. To be fair, but then I still feel at that age you should have at least a license. What if we go on holiday?
I kind of agree with you, but you're looking at it from your point of view.
Yes, but maybe
I know a lot of people who don't like to drive or don't want to drive. For me, I'm a driver, so I don't.
But then for me, it's like then when we're going on dates, I don't want to be the one that's driving all the time. If we go,
that's why
I don't want to go on the bus.
Yeah, but you got
and
Uber
at that point
now.
is why I lived farther.
They don't drive. We've got Uber.
At that point, I lived very far as well. I lived out of London, so it would be me all the time. So I just thought, I'm okay. But when I think back now, I should have probed, and if it was because there was trauma, I would have helped him get out of trauma.
No, so let's be honest. You had an expectation that a man must come and pick you up when you're going out. So
ideally, it'd be lovely.
That's what. Yeah,
it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely.
It'd be
lovely. Yeah, but I drive all the time, so I have no problem. But it is a bit of a fairy tale. It'd be nice for him to come and pick me up, and I'm not even gonna lie. Not on the first date because I don't want them to know where I live, but after that, absolutely. There's something lovely about. Yeah,
it's like old school, isn't it?
Yeah, but I drive all the time. So, and I'm just tired. I just got tired of driving.
I feel the same sometimes. I like women who drive.
But I will pick up my man, but on the first couple of dates, you just want to see. But anyway, so the list in that sense did keep me single, and it was a bit much.
I've been on a date with a guy who didn't drive, and then I had to drop him off afterwards. Like two dates I've been on where I had to drop the guy off, and it was a bit off-putting. I'm not going to lie. Like, why am I dropping you here and throwing you around or whatever?
It's refreshing that a woman will pick you up and say, "Look, I'll
on the
drop
first
you."
date.
Does it matter? As long as the date goes right.
If it's a regular thing though, like I don't mind, obviously, you know, sometimes you drop me off, vice versa. But if it's me, the only one driving, I'm doing all the ferrying around, dropping you here, dropping you there. After a date, I'm dropping you here and I get home so late.
But, hold
Next girl's
that.
house.
But if the man was doing that for you, you wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah, you're
but
right.
You wouldn't even
No,
think about
no,
it.
no, no, no,
You wouldn't
I-
even think about it.
I would say
don't-
thank you.
Yeah, there you
very
go.
much. That was
Thank you.
Lovely
Lovely.
day.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Wake me up when we get
Princess.
home.
Davina's a passenger princess, isn't she? You saying it now.
If the person does not have a license, it's going to be you all the time.
I've been in that situation where she drove, and after a while, she lived far, and I was working out of London, and she just didn't want to drive anymore, and then I didn't want to drive anymore.
And what that relationship just done?
Yeah, because
When it's
I got tiring after a while. You know, we worked for a couple of years, and I had to move further out. And then she said, "Well, I'm not going to drive to yours." And then I'm driving from out of London
Yeah.
through London back to get to hers. After I'm like, I can't do this. You know.
I think the difference is now I would really just help that person get a license because I do feel it's a good life skill to have.
What if he hasn't had lessons? You're going to pay for the lessons.
What she means by helping, guys, is putting him in the direction of a
I
driving
would
school.
motivate him. I would motivate him.
Actually, no.
But maybe if it was
No,
around
you
his
don't wanna use your
birthday, if it was
card,
around
yeah.
his
No.
birthday, not someone I just met.
You buy him
no,
10 free
I wouldn't.
lessons and
But
then
for
sort
birthday, I'd
yourself
probably
out.
go treat some like, but you know, just
£35
Yeah,
an
yeah.
hour.
it's gone up.
£35 an hour.
I would just.
But she like her man, so why shouldn't she
Yeah,
spend that
no,
money?
but if it was my man,
Why are you mad at your
if it
pet
was
that-
my man, but we're not talking. It's not even got to that stage that is my man yet. If it was the dating stages, no, I wouldn't. I'll motivate him. I'll be like, yeah, I think
How would you motivate him?
I'll try to find out why he hasn't got his license and how important it is to actually be able to be.
And say he didn't want, say he comes back and says,
I don't want to.
I don't want to drive.
Then there's something deeper. Truthfully, unless you like this person that works in the city, you have no reason. There would have to be a reason. You don't just not want to drive.
There's a lot of people who say that
They don't drive it.
they don't need.
They don't like to drive.
Yes,
hear it a
but
lot.
not having a car is different. I'm not saying someone has to have a car. This is about having a license. So you have a choice now. If you don't have a license, you don't have a car. But if you got a license and you choose not to have a car, that's different. I could work with exactly. We go on holiday. Like, I'm a wicked driver, by the way,
50.
but I don't like to drive abroad. So anyway, let's move on from the license.
What else is on the list?
So
Split.
Yeah.
I think that to make it very important, I personally haven't written anything that I'm not. So that's why I felt entitled to.
You mentioned that you was feeling yourself a lot. That's
I
why.
mean, I was.
And I think
like,
a lot of women are feeling.
I was in a space. I'll be on. Yeah, I
There's
was
a lot
like.
of women
No, when I
in
say
that
feeling
space.
myself, probably that's the wrong word. I was just
No,
in a
that is the
good
right
place. I was like, yeah, I was like
Feeling yourself.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted, we talked about this in a previous show, like someone that's equally yoked to a certain degree. We don't have to have the same thing, but yeah, I was in that space, and I recognize now that some of the things, if I was to write something down, some of the things I wouldn't write it in that manner. I'm more open.
So what you
now.
were saying, really, you want someone on parity with you or above you.
Yeah.
You don't really want, from your perception.
Ideally,
So
yeah.
you won't look at certain man then.
I
You weren't
mean,
gonna-
just
certain
the
man
same
that
way
come
you
up-
guys won't look at certain women then.
Yeah, but I'm just, I'm just.
But yeah,
For my
absolutely.
part, obviously,
Yeah.
Sabrina,
Yeah.
but I want someone who's on my level or above.
And
And
again,
we tend to date on their level.
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean in reality?
Yeah, on your level of.
Yeah,
Financially, where you are in life in terms of like your career and stuff like that.
Yeah, but realistically, life is an up and down life.
Love the show? Show some love back.
Like, follow, and subscribe. We are on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. You know the drill.
All under at the Davina
And Sabrina Show.
But generally, the people who I date were on the same sort of.
Yeah, but
and also
Just
put it this way.
About in your life journey, can I just add to that though as well? Like, I think, yes, there were probably a bit more materialistic stuff when we were younger.
Yeah,
and that's the truth. Like,
But now
we have
it's
grown a little bit.
yeah.
The thing is that it's the things of, like, when you're getting older and, like, when it's
But that
all
isn't.
this
If
fun
you're
and
saying
games.
on the
and stuff.
same level, it's still in the
But you know,
materialistic
it
because
meant-
you're what they're doing, what they've got.
But also
It's not even
emotional, where they've been. What's really important to me is where they've been in their life though as well throughout.
Exactly.
Like what growth that really gets
When you
me.
say where they be in the like, in
so
what,
there's some
like, for
okay,
instance,
so like okay, let's from an emotional standpoint, like whatever trauma you've may have been through, have you really learned from it? Have you actually taken accountability? There's something beautiful about like not having so much ego. I think ego is important for men a little bit. That's what like or for women as well, a little bit just to keep you
women
wanting
got
to
too much ego
who women. Okay, I mean, I don't know,
think
but I think for
just
it's
as bad as
really
men,
puts
some
me
women.
off though when men is to me there's a blockage there. I don't like that. I like us to be able. I want to be able to sit down. I want us to just talk and like be just open about your life, your
past and the
and
future.
yes, and own up to be honest about like if you're not in that situation, like or find out what open up to it, not just pretend. I'd rather that, so I really know where it comes
when you,
from.
when you say pretend, like pretend.
Some men,
Like some guys, they
are like,
flashy
they lead with that, which I understand, which is
we
not,
know that.
it's really
That's
obvious.
just, there's always been that.
they try
That
to make
usually
they've got more
insecure
than
men
they-
will lead
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
their pockets
Yeah,
and what they've got.
and I understand why, because of, but actually, to be fair, for a lot of good women, that is off-putting. We don't, deep down, we want to know that you're financially stable and you're good with money as well. Like, but it doesn't mean you have to make loads of money. Just like you got to be able to at least afford your own place. You can rent. Do you know what I mean? And you can pay for holidays. Just a simple. To me, those are simple things. What I like personally to go on one holiday minimum a year. Have a roof over my head. I'm a big foodie. I want to just be able to eat, go do little things. Those things now, I'm tired now. I don't want to, the whole going out and popping bottles and stuff isn't a thing. It's just, but this list, I think, is just going back it's definitely kept
So
some people
what was
single.
on this list?
Oh,
What
that's
else
what I
is
just
on this?
said. What else was on the
So
list?
you had it written down.
Do
I
you
thought
have
had it-
friends?
No, do you know what? I actually
No.
had it posted on my the
Ceiling.
top of my ceiling. So and
No.
when I woke up
didn't do
every
any of
day,
So Mark,
I'm
what
up
you
to
do?
you.
no, I did.
The guys in
I
bed,
did.
she's
No,
picking
no,
up.
Yeah.
I had friends. I had people over the time that would look back and be
Sorry,
like,
stop.
All right.
Make list
Yeah.
point 4.
All right. Do you have friends now that got this list and they're still single?
no. So no.
Any of you?
I'm still single.
Okay.
But I didn't have this big list for you. See,
I just
my list of qualities, even though you might say it's not a list, it's through experiences from other relationships, like, and not just from that person, but from my part. Like, one major thing is communication.
Okay.
There's been relationships which I know in the past haven't worked because I've not communicated, the person hasn't, and then we've just, I know. So it's just something like that. So I feel it's built up based on my experiences. So I know what I want, which I feel will be a successful relationship. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the list which is keeping me single. Who knows?
yes.
But,
Yes.
I think, but your
also
list has
think
gone
it's-
down now. Like
Yeah.
you've become a bit more open than you have been, and that's
Yeah, it has
maturity,
gone
right?
down, but
guys?
also, sometimes they've ticked everything on the list, but the vibe has not been.
See, there you go
But
then.
sometimes we get.
Then what's the...
But I met that there was one guy, he ticked everything, but it was so boring. I just
Yeah, but then what's the point? What's the point of the list then?
So yeah.
What's the point of the
keep it on
list?
track.
Because well, it
You
doesn't.
go for anything and everything.
No, but then
have to have
you've
something.
just met a man that ticked all the lists,
Yeah,
but he was the most boringest man ever.
Right.
But that's why on the list
So
you have
does
to
the
put
list
on there
always matter?
fun and organic. You have to
That's
put it on there.
You
Like,
need to
you have to write
understand
that.
because the list can go
Sometimes
out the window.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's
Yeah,
very
it can go out the window sometimes, but I feel you have to have a few qualities, even if it's 3 or 4, just so you sort of know that you're on the right similar part. Like one of mine is like similar values. I had a relationship which was 3 years. It broke down because our values on so many different things, from kids to marriage to religion, faith. It was so whatever. He was a nice guy. We didn't argue as such, but we just had different visions for the future, and that's why it broke down. So now everyone who I sort of like to talk to or whatnot,
You ask them
I have to
questions,
be, and there's things.
and if
where-
they
yeah.
you don't take it, well, have a nice life. I'll see you later.
Let me give you an example. Like, my family's Christian and Muslim. I thought growing up around because I'm Christian myself, I could date a Muslim guy, but I've tried, and so many things, because obviously it's quite a strict faith.
Yeah.
I just know it wouldn't work for
Yeah,
me.
okay, then
Because
fair
I'd want to christen my child, go to church occasionally, all the time. So I know in that respect, because religion is one of the top reasons why marriages or relationships break down. So again, that's to do with values. So I just think
I think it's more a respect thing because I think you can.
You can. It does
Because
work for some people, but
because
I
if
know
he's a-
personally myself, I can't.
Unless he was a strict Muslim.
He was, yeah.
But then he won't be dating a Christian
And
anyway.
Yeah, there you go. So
that already tells you he's not that strict.
Yeah.
He may say it, but really.
So,
Yeah, a lot of it's talk,
so
isn't
I
it?
tried. It's not that a lot of these things I've tried, and
Okay.
they now put that they have to. Even if they're not Christian, they have to be spiritual. But something like Islam, which is quite strict, I just don't think in terms of my.
So that's on your list now. Has to be Christian.
Christian or spiritual, as long as they're not.
What is? I keep hearing this one spiritual. What is spiritual?
Spiritual, could I just say, is
Long way have this
someone
word.
who
Yeah.
has
for a man
not-
that's
do you know
spiritual.
what?
I don't
You've
know.
not quite put yourself in a category of like Christianity or Buddhism, but you're a believer of the higher power. But you haven't necessarily like there's certain words which to me I used to describe myself like I would describe myself as a spiritual / Christian. I believe in God, but. I've been going to church more and more now, but
Is that because you're in a relationship?
yeah, like I'm being open to.
If you wasn't in a relationship, you probably wouldn't though, would you?
What, go to church?
More church, more and more.
And what I've always said, once I have a child, I would, because I was brought up in the church. My mum didn't believe in any of that, but she just wanted us to have the teaching. You know, I went to Christian school and everything. I got Holy Communion and all that.
Still taking
But
us
the
to
thing
church.
is, but it wasn't. My mum wasn't really a believer in that sense. We grew up spiritual, like about like the energy and so forth. But to me, we're all talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just being more open. Yes, my partner like is opening my eyes. Plus, I do have like siblings that are big pastors and stuff like that. And since going to Nigeria, I've met them. But in answer to your question, sorry, spiritual.
Yeah,
The
what is
spirituality is that you believe in the higher power, but you haven't quite categorized it as God or as a particular religion. But there is, the higher power. I think that's probably the
my
simplest
deal
thing.
breaker. I cannot date atheists, and the amount of atheists I see on these dating apps.
You'll think we're too
Can I ask you two questions?
Yes.
Most of the people we met are on dating apps.
Mine, yeah.
Not in your social,
this relationship.
not in your social arena or going out.
Well,
and,
person I'm dating.
I do go out, but it's, back in the day, I used to go clubbing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I go for dinner or go theatre. So if someone's not going to come up to you and I've had it once, but they will. If it wasn't for the dating apps, I was just being single for probably.
It's getting less and less. Men are and not approaching the same way as they used to.
Really?
So when you go out, people, me personally, I work from home.
Okay then.
100%. I don't go out. So when there was a time, but my partner now, we were friends before and we didn't meet on it. And it's something beautiful about actually meeting organic, like, let's be honest. But if
You went for quite a while,
Pardon?
which is different.
yeah, but there was a time I went on, because I'm like, unless I'm meeting them on the way to go to the gym or at the supermarket, I'm not meeting nobody because I work from home. So dating out.
But you said gym, there's the gym, you can meet.
Yeah, but the area I was in was predominantly areas that I weren't going to have my type of men,
They were on the list.
melanin. They weren't on the list. Yeah, that was definitely.
You need to open your eyes and be more spiritual.
Well, I feel that's either.
No, the spiritual, but it's got to come with other requirements for sure. Definitely.
But I'm still trying to hear what's on these lists.
So, like,
I
okay,
wanna hear-
I tore it up in the end. But I'll tell you what was on the list was, the material stuff was the car, the license, being able to afford your own place to live in, having a good with finances, look-wise, obviously being tall, and physical. I wanted someone who was into health and fitness because I am. And then the sort of qualities were, again, emotionally intelligent, learning from I literally went to that point. I want someone who's not got too much ego, someone who's not, arrogant, someone who's funny, who likes to be social but still likes to be at home.
Not too social.
I literally wrote all that down. No, it was a long list. It was. I'm not gonna lie. It was. It kept on going. There was about 30 things on the list, and I stuck it on my wall. But I did tear it up afterwards. I thought, no, this isn't it. I know what it is now. For me, it's just life. I just want a simple man that's focused and driven and that's funny and we can have fun. That doesn't take life too serious. And I don't need the list for that anymore. This is just about human to human interaction. So I've learned from that.
Yeah, I met a guy who we got on, but he just was a homebody. Just literally doesn't eat out. He only eats at home. And I stopped and I thought, Davina, are you being like fussy or whatever? So what I did, I went to a married couple, friends, and got their advice. And they actually said, like, Davina, think if, like, say we're invited to your birthday dinner or some a family thing, every time he'll be like, no, don't go out or whatever, that eventually is going to get on your nerves. So they actually advised me it's not going to work because you're very outgoing and something like that. Someone who's just a complete homebody, I don't think it would work. The personality I have might work for someone else. I got advice from a married couple, so I thought, oh, Davina.
Yeah, but that's compatibility. You have to be compatible.
Yeah, but you could have just, you could have kind of changed his thingy.
Like he's not changing
but
anyone.
that's probably something that he got from his family and how he was brought up.
Do you really think
So
if
you
you
could
was
have changed
this
it.
as a 40-year-old man, you think you could change? They could change.
40s, like changing that late in life.
That's
I
the
got
card of
advice, 'cause I
changing a
think to
40-year-old
myself,
woman, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Exactly. We're hard to
Hell.
Yeah, setting your ways,
Yeah, I
man.
know. To set.
But I think we could change. We're more adaptable than if we really like who we are.
You know what? It's funny that you say that because the other day I was speaking to a friend of mine and I said, because I'm of a certain age now, I'm scared when I eventually find that person and we maybe live together, I'm so stuck in my ways doing stuff by myself, I'm going to have to really bend a lot and
Women bend more.
I will try my best, but I'm scared.
What are we talking about?
I'm just smiling more.
Yeah, that's
I'm
And then what other this?
Yeah.
So obviously I'm going to have to bend in certain things I do and stuff. And same with him. But it's going to be, because obviously I'm of a certain age, maybe
I
I'm more
find
bendable when I was in
women,
my
they don't
30s,
like
yeah.
to, no, it's just,
No, but
I think
from my
from
experience, I will bend, I will change.
my experience, 40 women in the 40 and 50s.
They don't want it.
Nah, they're set. They're like rocks.
So is men as well, and that's why being compatible and choosing someone who's like being the same person doesn't necessarily work. Opposite can attract, but you have to have things in common.
The problem is,
With the restaurant going out and stuff like that.
but in the end, the list becomes. It narrows you down to such a
You're
thing
right.
that the chance of you finding that ideal man.
You're very right with
And
that.
that's the problem.
So the
Everybody-
conclusion
I think
is
a lot of women are looking for this. They have a list and looking for the ideal man.
and
I think
and that's-
social media has so much, especially in this day and age, I think, to do with it. Because everybody's showing
And it
good
doesn't
times,
exist.
the good
my
times,
man is
but-
doing. Yeah.
All that. Everyone's
Like
happy.
with kids, like I have a limit. Like there was one guy I was speaking to, he had like 5 kids under 5, and I'm just like, no, I can't do that.
Oh yeah, that was also on my list. Not too many children. I forgot about that.
How many is not too many then?
No more than at that time it was no more than 3.
No, at one point you said like
None
no
at
kids
all. But that was ages. That was before
Was
my
that before you had kids?
Yeah.
I don't have any kids.
Oh, you don't have any kids? Okay.
Yeah. So that's why as well. Like so. But,
Does your partner have children?
Yeah, he does.
Why
Are they older
under
children?
5?
Well,
So why I say under 5?
So
I just feel
it's a
there's
time
still
thing.
connection. Still, it's still fresh. Like I actually went on a date or dated this guy who had a 2-year-old, and then something in my bones was telling me that they're still together, and I found out he was actually married.
Yeah, but isn't that a different?
Yeah, that's
but
different.
That's a bit different.
2-year-old, there's still a connection.
Yeah.
I feel some time has to pass before you've brought a child into this world together. So I just feel, it has to be older than 5. I know some people who they say 10 plus, but 5, I still feel like there's some time has passed.
Yeah, but you don't know the circumstances as to what age.
Each
So you-
circumstance
yeah,
is different as well.
Yeah.
more open to it now than we were like probably 10 years ago, whatever. You've always said,
But you've never, except this guy.
No, I've dated people with kids and stuff. But when I was younger, early 30s, I was like, I'd rather someone not. But
as
then,
you get
of
older,
course,
you
as you
gotta
get
make
older,
the
you have to. And also, I don't have a requirement. Like, I wouldn't mind now at this age if it was about 2, because I don't know, if I'm not blessed to have a child, then that could be an opportunity. If things go serious, that could be an opportunity for me to be, a step. So I'm okay with that, but I wasn't at some point. So yeah, things have changed. We evolve, we learn. And so we're gonna have to keep it, take it to a close, to be fair. But I think the conclusion is what. So is it keeping you single, or contributing?
We're narrowing down the pool,
of course.
through these.
Exactly.
And I will agree, but
Exactly.
you do need,
So-
just like you guys have.
What you need to do.
I think I'm
is have a-
because I see everybody as an individual,
Yeah.
and no two people are alike. So depending how much you like a person, how much you vibe, depending how, you know.
You just go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go with it.
Because
I think you know. I think you've got your. At a certain age, you understand
Especially with men.
things that you don't like and you don't want.
Yeah.
And you should just become
have
that.
a list.
No,
Like, I just know
have a burn the list
that
day.
you just sort of through conversation, dating the person. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
we're
How
happy
can
to
you
take
not
the list
know?
off your ceiling.
I did, and I tore it up.
She's got a man.
I mean, yeah, and actually,
Did
he's
he
a
see
lot.
the list? Did he see the list?
He saw the list because we were friends at that point, and he's basically when I think back, he's everything from
What's
that
his name
list.
at the
By the
bottom of
way,
the list at that time?
I think most people who see that list think that is them, but he definitely was.
Do you think he saw the list and said, "All right, I want this woman. I'm going to pretend I'm all the
No,
things
no,
on the list."
no. We were friends. We were friends. Yeah, we were friends. But he did. He definitely
Yeah, but
was
as
like.
friends, you tend to talk
No, he
more.
was. No, he
didn't
was
you?
like, I'm everything on that list.
There you go.
And at that point, I didn't see it. but
There you
yeah.
go. There you go.
But anyway, it was a bit much, that list. I get it. So yes, it did definitely
there you
it
go.
hindered me. But I want my requirements and I like what I like. I'm being more open and
Do your thing, girl.
So yeah, do my thing. Pick a treat time.
Yeah.
All right.
Pick a tree. Choose a pick first.
Pick a good one, mate.
Pick a good one. Yeah. Let's see.
And if
So
you don't
that's
want to
a,
answer it, then you get a treat.
What was that,
That's okay. You don't have to answer. You could do a treat.
What was that?
It says fingers as penis
Yes.
or penis as fingers.
What was that?
I
Production.
mean, having your
Production.
fingers replaced as penis, so they look like penises, or you want your penis looking like a as a finger.
Well, you threw that back.
Who's making it? Who wrote that?
Production.
Our production assistant. Actually.
Sack him.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's up to you, but then that means
Well,
if
I don't get that one.
you don't get that one.
No.
If you don't answer that, then you have to pick a treat. And you have to
Pick a treat, Mark, and treat them.
I can't do that to
You
you.
might have to
Neither of them are pleasant.
You might have to treat it to sparkling water.
All right, come on then.
Here's a treat.
Let's go. Let's see what I got. Treat Davina and Sabrina to Nando's.
Free after the episode.
I don't like that.
No, do I don't eat meat.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Okay. Thank you. Ooh, we'll give you an update on how the Nando's went.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate your time.
Always.
And yeah. Until next time,
Guys.
subscribe. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and see you next time.
Bye. Peace out.
Shout it out and let them know.